Have you guys checked out this new Paul Cherry yet? Oh, I am obsessed with that right now. Welcome to the Dante Elephante podcast, episode 85, and that was the new Paul Cherry track, Our Night. Oh man, I can't wait for this new jazz record. If it's anything, if that's just a little taste of what we're getting, man, that's gonna be insane. So episode 85. Welcome to the Dante Elephante podcast. This guest today is Dakota Theim. I'll get that right at some point. Sorry, Dakota, but we did this episode over in Boise during Treefort, which was really, such a cool experience. And I want to give a shout out to Treefort and everyone over there in Boise, Idaho, who's so nice to, they're so nice to Dante Elephante and so grateful to be able to go and travel and do the festival and see it and hang out. And I don't know, it was just a really cool experience. And this is one of those interviews I'm really stoked about. Dakota, the history with me and Dakota. He's a newer friend. He opened for us when we played Mississippi Studios in Portland. He's a Portland guy. And he was just a really chill dude. And we just talked a lot that night at the show. And he was one of the guys who reached out and said dude, I love the podcast. I listened to this episode. I listened to the San Francisco episode. Oh, and the Rado episode. And I was like, oh, damn. He's like, you gotta keep doing more. And I was like, oh, I've just been so busy. But, I definitely think of him every time I think of I gotta keep doing the podcast, man. Dakota is actually he's one of the listeners. You see the listenership and you're like, oh, okay, but you don't know if it's actually real or not. But it's true, you guys are listening, and thanks for everyone who shares the podcast. And I get it, man. We're growing something. So, we're growing this thing, man. It's very cool. But I appreciate everyone for listening, and I hope you enjoy this episode. He has some music out. Go check out Dakota. He's on Instagram. He's on Spotify. He's on YouTube. He's on all the things. Everywhere you find a good band, you could find them there. But this week was a crazy week. This last week was crazy. Thanks to everyone who's been supporting, and any new listeners. Thank you. As I talked about last week, I did Felipe Esparza's podcast, which was so fun. If you haven't seen it yet, go check out. Go on Felipe Esparza's YouTube channel. What's Up Fool podcast. I was the last episode, and it was so cool. It was so cool to be on there. Such a chill hang, and that's that energy I love, man. It was everyone was just talking shit and having a good time, and then I played a little bit too. It was really fun. I love talking and I love hanging and learning stuff about Santa Barbara I didn't know, our rat problem. I guess our big rat problem here in town. But either way, it was really fun. Go check it out. Felipe is the man, and really cool to see a real podcast studio and how that operation's really run, and it's impressive. And I just want more. It's so cool. But thanks to everyone who came out to the Belasco. And then we met a lot of new people at that show as well. Shout out to Make Out Reef, Shirley Tempo. It was really great to see them live. And then Archer O, they put on such a great show, man. Those kids they're young and they have a lot of energy, and it was cool, man. It definitely felt like the old man band in some ways. We were just chilling in our green room watching listening to Steely Dan on YouTube, just kind of going through old videos, and just kind of, I don't know, just that's just kind of our pre-show routine. It's not really taking shots and doing that. I drank a whole bottle of wine before I went on stage. I don't know, man, the shows have changed. The pre-show rituals have changed. And that was my pre-show ritual, that show, which was fun. It was fun. I took my shirt off on stage. The crowd started yelling for me to take my shirt off, so I did. It's what happens. It's what you do. But I had fun. It was really fun, man. It was really fun. Next time, we do have some shows coming up. So if anyone's interested in me taking off my shirt on stage, which I really hope doesn't become a thing. But we announced a show today. We are playing Kansas City Innovation Festival on August 5th. So if you live in Kansas City, come see us August 5th at Innovation Festival. That's kind of the big news, and that's all I really have for today. But definitely go August 5th in Kansas City. I'll see you soon. I can't wait to be back in Kansas City, actually. I love the vibes in Kansas City, man. It is such a fun town. Like, if you haven't gone, you should go. And tell your friend, if you have a friend living in Kansas City, tell them there's a show happening at the Crown Center. The Innovation Fest, August 5th. So, yeah. All right. Dakota Theim, this is episode 85. Thanks for listening, and enjoy. Okay, yeah, so basically I just called. You can shut the door if you want.
Yeah.
I just called, and I was like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. Is there a space downstairs I can just record in? And they're like, sure. I was like, well, I also found something upstairs that's like empty. And they're like, if no one's in there and there's no schedule, and on that screen, so there's no schedule here today.
Nice.
So
that works out great.
We've just been taking it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. How many interviews have you done today?
This is the second one now.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're rolling. We're going.
Right on.
Dakota, how are you?
We're live. I'm good.
Yeah.
Doing well. Yeah.
Promote I didn't do this with Jeremy. Promote with what you got to promote up top.
Okay. Yeah. So my name's Dakota Theim. If you don't know me, we're playing at Treefort tomorrow night at 9:40 p.m. at the District.
This will not be out in time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I didn't even think of it.
Yeah,
we're not live streaming right now.
No, this is not live streaming.
I guess
but you are playing Treefort.
Yeah. We are playing at Treefort, which is where we are in Boise right now.
Boise,
Beautiful Boise, Idaho. I've got I've got 2 albums out that you can check out on all the streaming platforms, and I'm releasing some singles this year. I think the next one comes out in April, so
cool.
Yeah, pretty excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then you're on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just
Facebook
at Dakota Theim.
Twitter.
It's THEIM. I am on Twitter. I'm not that active on it. I'm still kind of figuring out my Twitter persona or whatever.
I'm off.
Oh, you are?
I just deleted my Twitter.
Why is that?
Recently. I don't know. I don't like what.
Yeah,
I guess like Elon too much.
It's become a different thing now.
It's become a different thing. Yeah. I kept blocking him on my feed.
Yeah.
And he would still pop up. He was overriding the block.
Yeah.
And he'd pop up under tech. I was like, well, I don't want to see anything tech.
Exactly.
Celebrity. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude? So what is this?
I feel like
website now?
All social media platforms are like that though, to some extent now. It's like, because the way the algorithm is, it's like you don't even see your friends' stuff first. It's just all
strangers.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because they're trying to compete with TikTok. Because TikTok's all strangers.
Yeah,
you don't know anyone on there.
Exactly.
It's more like YouTube. Because I don't know. I think about this stuff a lot because I work in social media marketing.
Totally.
Where TikTok, I don't compare it to Instagram or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's more like YouTube. And it should be treated more like YouTube. I don't follow my friends on YouTube. Most of my friends don't have a YouTube channel. So that's how I kind of treat that. But Instagram, it's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to be a band on Instagram.
It is.
You want to post a flyer, has too much text.
Yeah.
It's just not going to get the reach that you want it to.
Exactly. Yeah. And I've noticed recently my overall engagement has just gone down.
So low.
I don't know what.
Even the brands and people I work with right now, everyone's doing shit numbers right now.
It's crazy time. It's I've kind of just detached myself from the whole numbers game or whatever at this point,
I turned my numbers off.
So
when you look at a Dante post, there's no number there.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
Way.
Totally.
I feel it's just when I was in a position where I wasn't getting a lot of likes, and I'd see my friends on tour and they're getting all these likes.
Yeah.
It used to bum me the fuck out, man.
I know.
And now I'm in a position where I do get some decent likes. I'm like, I don't want to bum anyone out. And then even then now I compare myself, well, I'm not getting 1,000 likes on the photo.
Yeah, it's like
you
always
not getting
want
2,000.
more. You always want more likes.
Oh, I got 600, but I didn't get 1,000, So I don't know. I just turned it off. I think it's better for my mental health and other people's mental health to just enjoy the feed.
Yeah.
Don't look at I'm liking this because I see it has a lot of engagement. Not that because I liked it. I don't know.
Yeah. Whoever invented the or whatever just needs to be locked up or something.
Yeah, it's a weird time on the internet.
Yeah.
You have 2 records out.
Yeah.
You record them yourselves, or how'd you record them?
Yeah. I recorded them both at home. And it's funny, the first one is very kind of minimal, basic production, and the second one's a lot more layered, and I invested in more gear and stuff. So it's kind of fun to listen to them both, because the first one, it's kind of I'm like learning how to record
Right.
kind of, and you can like hear that in the songs. So
That's kind of the charm.
it's kind of yeah, totally.
What are you using to record?
Well, I use Pro Tools
Okay.
for everything. I don't know. I just that's like how I learned
Really?
how to
On
record
Pro
just
Tools?
on
Yeah.
Pro Tools, and it's just most comfortable to
Are
me.
you doing the monthly subscription?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
doing that too.
Yeah.
It's fucking hard.
I know. Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you use?
I just got Logic.
Oh,
I
nice.
just bought a Mac. I just bought a laptop and I'm using Logic now, and it's like, oh, this because I did all my demos on GarageBand for years, and this is the closest thing to GarageBand.
Oh, really?
And it's just easier.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I tried Pro Tools and I started watching tutorials, and I taught myself how to video edit before I could use Pro Tools. I was like,
wow.
okay, it shouldn't be that hard to learn how to use this thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was really difficult for me.
Totally.
But I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Like I went to Lollipop Studios. They have like a new recording studio in LA, and I produced 2 records there. And I used they have all this analog gear. And then I was like, oh, I get Pro Tools a little bit more, because it was like coming from that into that.
Mm-hmm.
The interface is more similar to like a traditional older school studio. So that kind of made more sense to me after that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you always recorded your own music yourself, or have you gone into studios? And
It was always like studios, or the first couple Dante things were like pay by the hour. We're stressing out, like we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then we did that one record with Rado, and that was all analog. That was all vinyl, not vinyl. All it wasn't even 2-inch. It was a quarter inch tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1/4 or whatever. Yeah, it was very lo-fi, very different.
I love that though. That's cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was cool. We got some weird sounds, and we did it like in Rado's like childhood bedroom. And it was a lot different than how he tracks now, but it was cool.
Yeah. So you've known him a long time then, huh?
Yeah. My good friend Dave Mountain, who was managing Voxygen and also managing Dante at one point, went on tour as their tour manager.
Cool.
And then on that tour, he showed them some of the demos we had, and he was like, "Yeah, I love these songs.
Nice.
Love to work on these make them real." And that's kind of like what happened. So like June 2013, we're like, "Oh shit!" Like I got the text, and I was like, "Oh!" I like ran into the other room and told my guitar player Kevin, like, "We're gonna go. Rado likes it. He likes it."
That's
like,
a good feeling.
It's a good feeling. We're gonna record. We're gonna make a record.
Yeah.
And then, but like, I didn't know we were like his second record. I thought he was like already making a bunch of records. Yeah.
That's
he did his solo record, the Dub Thompson record, and then us.
Wow.
So it was
And it's
all
crazy
those
to
records
see
kind of
like
sound the same. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I was gonna say it's crazy to see like what he's doing now. It's like
He's a crazy guy.
yeah. I've never met him or anything, but
He's awesome.
I've been following his. I mean, I love Voxygen, and
Right.
I've been listening to his music for a while too. So
I want another solo record. I think there's one coming.
oh, cool.
I think.
Yeah.
Because like I know he tracked one with Richard Swift.
Yeah.
Those recordings exist, but he never put them out because he didn't like them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Rado didn't like
Crazy.
them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Have you been able to hear those?
I haven't heard them yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
I know. I hit him up last weekend because he was like, "Oh yeah, come by check out the studio." And then I was like driving back from LA. I was like, "Hey," but didn't happen.
Yeah.
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 I want to see his new studio. Yeah. But it's been cool, man.
Yeah.
So you taught yourself. You work in Pro Tools.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the things you learned making a record by yourself, and then like the gear you got into like being able to like make a more lush, bigger production record?
I mean, I feel like everyone kind of talks about like their method of recording drums.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the big thing, and it's funny. Like on my first record, it was like three mics, and it was like I had no idea what I was doing. Like I did the snare, the snare top with the SM57, and then I got like the Shure Beta 52A or whatever on the kick, and then I used like this like weird condenser microphone at like
overhead,
but it wasn't even like a overhead. It was like this weird like over the shoulder thing that like just pointed at like the whole kit, and it like. I learned in the mixing stage. I didn't mix it, but Mike Kirkendall mixed it. He's done like a bunch of stuff with M Ward.
Yeah.
But he mixed it, and like he really had trouble with like the ride cymbal because it was just like
so loud.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was just like not balanced at all. So that was a big learning thing for me.
The mic placement, were you just doing that because why not?
Yeah, I just thought that
I
it
thought
would
you had seen something online.
No, I had no idea what I was doing. Yeah. I just went for it.
That's awesome.
But now I've got it more dialed in. Like I've got like the Coles 4038 as a mono overhead. And
yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I did a lot of research after that and like settled with that one.
Cool.
But yeah, that's.
But you're still using the Shure Beta and the.
Yeah. And then I use a Electro Voice. What is it?
The RE20?
No, it's like the I was 635A.
Yeah.
They're like old like little journalist microphones.
Cool. Yeah, yeah.
I actually use that on like all my vocals now.
Oh, sweet.
And like a snare bottom.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been doing that. You learn the drums, and then the rest. Are you plugging them in the amps and micing them, or are you kind of just doing them direct in, or?
I just direct in everything pretty much, and then
EQ from there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't really have a lot of like outboard gear just because it's like expensive and like the plugins now are so
they're good.
They're great.
They're
like
good.
I don't know, you can get so many good like.
What's
great
your favorite
sounds.
plugin? What are you doing?
Ooh, favorite plugin? Like I don't know if I've ever even like thought about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I use mostly like Wave stuff just because it's so cheap. But
they just had a sale.
Yeah.
I bought a few things on that
really?
sale. Yeah.
What'd you get?
Now I'm in the plug-in world because I got the laptop and now I'm like buying these things.
You've
I bought
gone down the rabbit hole.
That Abbey Road tape one.
Oh yeah, I have that.
That was like 80% off. It was like $30 or something.
Yeah.
And then oh man, what was the other one? That Puig Tech.
Oh yeah,
EQ.
I have that one too.
Yeah, so I got that one.
Yeah.
I just been putting those on drums. Both of them on drums. Yeah.
Get that like tape saturation.
Trying to get like and you can crunch it up a little bit, messing with the bias.
Yeah.
Which is like that Motown like crunchy snare kind of thing. That's what I've been looking for.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I use this one. It's called the Sketch cassette. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's not made by Waves. I think it's like $20.
Cool.
But it gives you like that cool like kind of fluttery cassette.
Oh, really?
Vibe that a lot of people like.
Cassettes.
So
okay.
I use it like really subtly though. I don't because you can like go way
Too
overboard
much.
with it if you want to, But no, I like those kind of like I don't know, like the tape emulator plugins are pretty cool to mess with.
That's cool. Yeah, I gotta check out some more of those.
Yeah.
I got the Wolf compressor.
Oh, nice.
Big Wolfpack fan, so I was like, okay.
Oh, they have their own like compressor plugin.
Yeah, with good hertz.
Whoa. Crazy.
Yeah, I just put it on the drums. It sounds awesome.
Yeah. Dang, I gotta check that out.
I think
that's
it's
awesome.
I'm sure they use it. I don't know.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing when you see like a band like endorse something. I'm like, do they use this?
Did they actually like design it or?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty easy, simple looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's cool.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, it's a nice one, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the first record, a little more stripped down. How many songs was it?
10.
Cool.
Yeah.
How long had you been working on those songs?
I guess I started writing some of them in like late 2018.
Yeah.
And then all of 2019 was spent like writing and recording it all. And I kind of like, since I had like the luxury of doing it myself, I would kind of write and record at the same time. I find that for me that works best rather than like writing a whole album and then recording it all, you know?
So this one you're kind of going, and you're playing all the parts?
On that one, I played a lot of it. My guitar player who plays in my band, his name's Ben. He played like all the lead, or I guess like 90% of the lead stuff. But then I played like drums and bass on most of it. And guitars, like rhythm guitars, and then all the vocals as well.
Cool.
So, well, Ben has one vocal credit on a song. But
yeah.
But yeah, basically I did like 90% of it, I guess.
Nice.
So yeah.
That's awesome. And then going into the next record, like same. Okay, so when did you release that?
That came out like January of 2020.
Yeah.
So like right before COVID hit, you know.
Oh. Yeah.
Which was interesting because, like,
you thought you were gonna play shows.
Yeah. I was like super excited to like. I mean, we'd been playing shows for a while, and we were playing like most of those songs anyways. But like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna put out this record and like hopefully we can like start booking some tours and like doing
the whole thing.
And then it's just like, well, now, and at first it was like, oh, this is only going to last like 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember that. I was at her house thinking, we'll be fine. Let's just hang out for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, maybe I should go home because I don't have clothes now. All my clothes are dirty. I think I need to go home.
Yeah. Crazy times.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then obviously that turned into like basically 2 years.
Nice.
But
did you have a productive lockdown? You know, because I feel like everyone was saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna work so hard and make so much music in the lockdown." Did you have one of those?
Well, I basically made the whole second album during the lockdown. But like I know, because I actually remember like listening to some of your earlier podcasts during that time, like that the idea of like it was such an uninspiring time, and it was like really hard to like write songs, you know. Like it was weird how some people like seemed to flourish, like they were just pumping out songs.
Totally.
But like for a while, I really struggled to write. You know, I ended up making a whole album, but like it
wasn't fast.
Yeah.
It took a little time.
Totally. Yeah. So, but I mostly had just had fun like experimenting with recording during that time. You know,
that's cool. To kind of mess around with stuff.
Yeah, totally.
That's a good time to have like just sat down and just like, oh, how do we EQ these drums? Like what reverbs do I like on this? Like,
totally.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I had that interview with Field Medic. He was kind of talking about that. He was like, yeah, it's funny. It's like songwriting. You write all these songs, or you write like a couple songs, like maybe a song every 3 months, and then you look back and oh, I got like 10.
Yeah.
Oh, I have an album. Like, why do I feel like I only had like 2 songs written?
Totally.
And then you look back and oh yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, oh, I didn't really write that many songs in the last since 2021 we released Mid-Century Modern Romance. I don't feel like I've written that many songs or had the time to write so many songs. And then I looked the other day at 15.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there's 15.
Yeah,
what am I doing?
Yeah, it's like almost 2 albums, you know.
Well, things will get cut and things.
Oh yeah.
You toss in, oh, this is an old song that I could rework, and then you like throw it away again. But yeah, it's pretty weird. That's where I'm at right now. But I'm like tracking 3 songs right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Just doing it yourself?
Doing it ourselves.
Cool. That's the way to go, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. At least for a demo, like.
Yeah.
You know,
totally.
So we could have something to show someone.
Yeah. But that's one thing I always wonder about as a songwriter, like, because you always hear about people like just cranking out songs, like, oh, I need to like write a song every day or whatever, and it's like, how do you do that? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it was easier when I was younger.
Yeah,
it was easier when I was 20.
Yeah, well,
I just had all these ideas.
Yeah, totally. You have more to write about or whatever, but like
more free time.
I don't know. For me, it's like I write 1 a month, maybe one every 2 months.
Yeah,
but like I always wonder like how is it?
That's
because I always wonder like, am I like, I don't know.
Am
I guess,
I doing enough?
Yeah. Am I doing enough? Yeah. So
I don't think you need to write a song every day. I think that's a fun exercise.
Yeah.
And then it also helps just to get the bad stuff out because you're still gonna write bad songs.
Yeah, totally.
And then, but like the point is to be super critique and just like chop away at the bad stuff until you find the good stuff.
Totally.
And I think that's all part of the process. So the writing a song every day thing, I think you could write something every day.
Yeah.
Or, you know, just like a riff or something you like. And then you have all these like voice memos lying around that you can reference back to. But I don't do that. Like I'll write a song like every 3 months or something. Like, whenever I have time. Like,
that feels a lot more manageable. You know,
but that's not what our overlords at Spotify want.
I know.
Us to
like,
do.
there's that whole weird pressure about like,
you need to release stuff on
constantly.
Our platform,
yeah,
you know, constantly to be in the algorithm. I'm not in the algorithm anyways, though. So.
Yeah, the whole algorithm game is just such a crapshoot. Anyways, it's like, I don't know. It's so weird.
It's fucked up. Man.
Yeah, it is.
It's fucked up. The more and more like I'm just in it. I'm just realizing, oh, there's. It's less luck. It's more of like you're pulling a lever at TikTok or Spotify, and they'll get you on a playlist.
Yeah.
It's not as like random as they make it seem like. It's a lottery.
Yeah.
It's not really a lottery. It's like if you're on a management company, they can talk to people at Spotify for you. Like
totally.
It's fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, and like I've noticed like.
But that's how you keep people playing. Is that people think they can win the lottery.
Yeah.
So we keep playing.
It's all a mind game.
Right.
It's weird.
That's how they keep us engaged. Yeah.
Well, also like I feel like there's so many examples of, at least that I've noticed, of like musicians on TikTok that have like tons of followers and views and stuff, but then you go to like their Spotify page.
Yeah.
And it's like really low compared to what you would think it would be. And it's like, so it doesn't really translate anyways. So it's like.
No. When I had one TikTok go off and I got more Instagram followers and more YouTube subscribers. But nothing happened with the Spotify, which is really weird.
Yeah.
It's like its own thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, like I guess the best way is just go out there and play shows and like just meet.
I think that is the best way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like opening for other bands and their fans see you, and then your friends come, and just sharing fans and all that.
Yeah.
The more collabs, the more interviews, the more podcasts, like all that stuff is really beneficial.
Totally.
I think.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, like I guess my attitude with like TikTok is like I'm still gonna like post stuff occasionally, but like the like trying to go viral or whatever is not very good strategy, I guess. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, there's like the TikTok game.
Yeah.
Like, oh guys, I think I just wrote the song of the summer.
Yeah.
You know?
You're like in your car. Like,
in your car. I think that worked for
videos.
one guy.
Yeah.
It worked for Ty Verdes, and that was it.
Yeah.
And now like there's a bunch of like wannabes trying to do it. It doesn't work. I think for me, at least, the advice I always give people, it's like, dude, you got music videos, chop that thing up.
Yeah.
You got live performances, chop that thing up. Like,
totally.
TikTok's a music app. Put your music on it. Like, but don't like try and like get clever and cute. Like, just
showing my grandma the song I just wrote. Like,
I saw one. I saw one the other day. It was like, I'm showing my mom the song that has every major label like asking for me. I'm like, okay.
Really?
Then the video had very few watches. I'm like,
yeah.
Dude, they're not.
It's pretty goofy.
I can't play that game. Just put the songs out there.
Totally.
People will find it.
Yeah. I've kind of given up on like trying to break the algorithm. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you can still work it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
But then again.
Yeah.
I also think I can win the lottery. So
Yeah.
I just have that kind of confidence, I guess.
Totally. Yeah.
Nice. So what's next for you then?
So we're obviously playing at Treefort, and then we're playing another show in Portland. I don't know if we ever addressed that, by the way. I'm based in Portland.
Oh, yeah, based in Portland.
Yeah.
We just talked to Jeremy. Another
Jeremy.
Portlander.
Yeah, and we Ben, who plays in my band, has played music with him a bunch too, and so I've known Jeremy for a while. But yeah, we're playing at Mississippi Studios, which we played a show together.
Yeah, we played a show together there.
Or I guess that was like almost exactly a year ago now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, because we were driving to Treefort.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what that run was for.
Yeah.
To get us to Treefort.
Oh wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
Did you book that yourself, or did you have
our agent did.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is cool because like I was just saying this in the Jeremy thing. I emailed Mississippi Studios a lot. Like when we first started, and never got a response back.
Yeah.
Because obviously we weren't big enough, and we wouldn't have been able to fill it, and we were like a new bit. This is like 2011.
Oh yeah.
So it was kind of great. Like we played Mississippi Pizza down the street.
Oh, nice.
And that was cool. We played in front of no one, but they gave us pizza. They weren't like, they didn't
give a pizza.
Yeah, they didn't give a shit because there was nobody there. They didn't care, which is cool. But it was kind of great to finally be at Mississippi Studios and be like, oh, this is what I was like. Why are we playing here? We should be playing there.
Yeah.
It took 10 years, but
you made it happen.
I got there.
What'd you think of that venue?
I love that venue.
Yeah.
Man. That's probably one of my favorite venues in Portland now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too, for sure. Yeah.
Where else did I play? You've seen us play in Portland a couple of times. Jenny's here. For anyone who doesn't know, Jenny's here. We played that theater. That was cool, but sometimes theaters don't feel like shows.
What theater was it?
Starland?
That's right.
Huh.
The Starland Theater?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
that was
familiar
crazy.
with that one, actually.
Yeah, that was an awesome one, but sometimes they don't feel like normal shows.
Yeah.
It just feels like we played on a big stage and that was it.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Where's the connection,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But Portland's great.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
Are you from Portland?
I am. Yeah. I grew
cool.
up there. So, yeah.
So you've really seen it change.
Totally. Yeah.
I was telling her, like, I went there in 2011, and that is not the same place anymore.
Yeah.
There's like one street. What area is that?
Hawthorne?
That we hang out?
Oh, yeah, like southeast.
Southeast.
Might be Hawthorne, maybe. I feel like that's
that still looks like the way I remember Portland looking.
Yeah.
But then the rest of it's changed. So what about in your opinion, being from there? What do you think?
Well, I actually like kind of grew up like in a suburb of Portland, so I didn't like go to high school or anything in Portland. But I mean, like, I guess parking is a big one.
Yeah.
Like there's just nowhere to park ever. Yeah, just I guess that's the biggest
happening
thing
here
there's,
too.
Yeah.
That's what people. It's like there's just more people here now.
Yeah.
Where are all these people coming from?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it's funny. Like I feel like in Portland, I don't know. You being from California, like, what's the general like opinion of like Oregon as from a Californian
It's funny.
perspective?
Like I remember in 2011, the big exodus.
Oh yeah.
Everyone was like, "Dude, we're going up to Oregon. We're going up to Portland," and that's when the whole California ruined Portland, or now Californians are ruining Boise. Like we ruin everywhere, I guess. But yet there's still so many people moving to California every year.
Yeah.
But no, people loved it, man. It was just cheap, and it was cool.
Totally.
And the same thing that happened here. It was cheap and cool, and now like the rent's a lot. Like, because I wanted to move to Boise after first time coming here in like 2015. I was like, I'm fucking moving here. Or 2016. I was like, this place is amazing. It's super cheap. You can get a house for like $600. Like you can rent the whole home. Like it was awesome. But we looked recently on Craigslist. I was like, oh, it's looking like California prices. Maybe, maybe it's not worth it moving all the way over here now. But it was like, it was adored. People loved Oregon. It was like the dream. It was like the fantasy world. That show Portlandia had just come out.
Totally.
So it was like shining a light on a lot of it. And we kind of talked about this. I mean, Jenny and I talk about this all the time, is that I think that show did more for Portland than maybe California did. Because it kind of shined a light on like, these are the things people are making fun of about us, and maybe we should change. Yeah, I don't know. Do you feel like that?
Well, it's funny. I was just listening to, do you know that How Long Gone podcast? Oh, okay. It's like on Spotify and stuff, but they were interviewing Ruben from UMO.
Yeah.
And I was just listening to it yesterday, and he was talking exactly about that, like how like Portlandia pokes fun at the things that were like quirky and goofy about Portland, but now it's just like become that show.
Yes.
Like that show is like an exaggerated version of how Portland was, and now it just like is that exaggerated version.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. I mean, I don't know. It's a wacky place, but
I love it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And there's a lot more people that live there, and there's like, it's definitely like gone through a rough patch in the last few years, but
yeah.
Just with like homelessness and stuff, and
is that over exaggerated though from people outside of Oregon, or is it, or has it really gotten that bad?
It's pretty bad.
Okay,
like it's like especially like downtown. Like I don't know. I mean, I haven't personally like seen that much. Like I mean, I don't really go downtown anymore, anyways. But like I feel like most of the people are like they're not gonna like hurt you or anything, but it's just like something needs to be done.
Yeah,
you know
something
what I mean?
needs to happen.
And I don't know. It's I obviously don't have the answer for it.
Oh,
but,
yeah. I'm not expecting an answer for the homeless situation.
But it is pretty bad. I mean,
right.
I don't think it's like being exaggerated or whatever.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I have a friend who was living in Seattle, and he was like, well, I need to go down, because, it was when they're taking over Chaz, or what they call that.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I better go down there. Sounds like it's crazy. And he's like, oh, there's like nothing. It was like just people walking around.
Yeah.
He's like, it wasn't as bad as the media was like making it be.
Yeah.
Like Seattle wasn't on fire. It was fine. Like,
well, and like Portland had the whole thing with those riots and stuff.
The riots.
And
Riots are crazy.
But, and I at the time I actually wasn't even living in Portland when that was going on. But people were like texting me like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm not even like, I'm like 20 miles away from there, you know."
Totally.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Crazy.
That's just the way that how the media kind of works right now. Like, it makes you feel like the world's falling apart. But then you like, look outside your window. It seems fine.
Yeah.
Portland seems fine right now.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. That's great, man. I think. Yeah. I don't know. I think there's a lot of money went into Oregon. The Nike thing, it's like there's so much Nike influence.
Totally.
A lot of my friends who worked in San Francisco moved up to Oregon to work at Nike.
Yeah.
They're engineers, that kind of vibe too. And that's kind of like, well, ruined San Francisco for a while.
Yeah.
It's like people weren't dancing at the shows. People weren't moving it. Everyone was like so stuck up. They're afraid to dance in front of their boss because the boss showed up at the show too. And it kind of had that energy for a while. But now I feel like San Francisco's coming back too.
Yeah.
Because everyone left.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're in a weird time.
It is a weird time. Everyone's moving around and everything's so expensive. And
everything's so expensive.
It's like you go, like you were saying, you move to Boise where it's like you thought it was cheap, but then like the prices are going up here too or whatever.
There's so much new development.
Yeah.
Like I've just been taking pictures of like all these hotels being built. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the poor little record shop. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
How long until your rent gets kicked up like 5%? Or more than 5%, like 5 times, the amount. I've seen it before. I've seen it in Santa Barbara. It happens everywhere. It sucks.
Yeah, it's like I feel like everyone's like moving to Austin right now.
Yeah.
It seems like. But it's like at some point same thing's gonna happen. Well, it probably already is. I
Yeah.
don't know, but like, what's the next like
Yeah.
city that everyone's gonna move to? I don't know.
I don't know. They're kind of hyping up Reno too. That
Reno?
Californians
Oh,
are
really?
ruining Reno.
Oh, what the
That's
heck?
what I heard.
Dang,
Yeah.
I haven't heard that. Wow.
I've heard that one. Californians are ruining Reno, and then they head more east to Boise.
Yeah,
And then what's next? Wyoming, right?
those damn Californians.
Wyoming
I'm just
with
kidding.
that show Yellowstone.
Oh yeah,
All
yeah.
that people are trying to buy property out in Wyoming.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, there's like just so much land in that area. It's
Dude,
like,
when you
why are we
tour
all
the US,
cramming together right
you
here?
tour the U.S., you realize how empty
Yeah.
most of America is.
Totally.
You're just driving these big empty plains, like, which is beautiful, but also like, man,
Yeah.
if you want space, there's space.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
yeah,
You also want to live near
Absolutely.
things.
yeah. Exactly. I would get too bored out there. You know.
You could move to Eugene.
Yeah, I
You
lived
know?
in Eugene. I went
Really?
to school there.
I put
So
a weird show in Eugene.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where was it?
Some random bar.
Really?
Yeah. And then I ate this like pad thai. I was like, yeah, make it spicy. It was like too spicy. It was brutal. I got sick. Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. Eugene's a pretty. I actually really like Eugene,
Really?
but it's a pretty weird place too. You know, it's like, well, because that's where like Nike started. You know.
Right. Yeah.
And so there's like this like really crazy like athletic culture there, but then there's like the whole like hippie.
Athleisure.
Yeah. Exactly. There's like the whole like hippie culture
Right.
that's really prominent there with like I think like the Grateful Dead was famous
Oh,
for
cool.
like playing. Well, then there's like Oregon Country Fair, which
Yeah.
the Grateful Dead played at a bunch.
Cool.
So it's like this weird clash of like hippies and
The old school
athletes.
hippies.
Yeah, the old school hippies.
Yeah.
and
Who've been
athletes
there and haven't left.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
awesome.
Yeah.
I think
It's a
we
cool
walked
place.
around. The first time we toured and we went to Portland, I think we stopped in Eugene and like looked at the campus just to look at it. And
Yeah.
then, all right, let's go to Portland.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it was cool. It looked like Santa Cruz. It looked like a normal college town.
Yeah.
Everyone's just walking in the middle of the road. No one's using. It's how,
Yeah.
how Isla Vista is too. No one uses the sidewalk. You just walk in the middle of the road. But
Pretty much,
yeah,
yeah.
that's fun. Man.
Yeah.
That's a good time. Did you play a lot of music over there?
At that time when I was going to school there, I was kind of like writing songs on my own, but
Yeah.
I didn't really have like a band or anything, so I
Cool.
didn't really ever play out anywhere. But I would go to like open mics
Cool.
occasionally, that kind of stuff. But I didn't really like start taking it seriously until I graduated
Oh, really?
from college. Yeah. So
What was the thing that made you want to take it seriously?
it was kind of just like, it came from like I studied advertising in college, and which has been useful actually in the pursuit of a music career. But I kind of like, it came from like a place of like knowing that I didn't want to just like go work at an ad agency,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like I was like, well, I'm done with school now. It's like, what do I really want to do,
Right.
you know? And I knew that I didn't want to just like go get a desk job or whatever. So
Right.
I don't know. It came from like knowing what I didn't want to do, I guess.
That helps.
yeah.
Especially like getting a taste of the desk job and you're like, oh, I don't think I like
Yeah.
this very
I mean, I've
much.
always loved music, and I've always loved making music, and
Right.
like, it's always been a huge passion of mine. So I just kind of like decided to take it a little more seriously, because I never really had like
Right.
really went for it. So
Nice.
yeah.
And so Portland's a great place too to kind of like meet other musicians
Yeah.
and kind of see how it works. And there have been some success stories out of Portland. Portland's had big bands, like
Yeah.
UMO lives there and
Totally.
like stuff like that. It's a good place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I sometimes wonder, like, should I move somewhere else to
Right.
like for music? But it's like, I don't know if that really matters that much anymore, you
No.
know?
I don't think so either.
Yeah,
I live in Santa Barbara and I tried the LA thing and I didn't like it.
really.
You know, I like driving to LA, hang out, meet someone for lunch, whatever it is, like any meeting.
Mhm.
But like, as far as like living down there and the traffic and it's fucking, I didn't realize how much I hated traffic. I'm fine with it. Like I can like sit there and just listen to podcasts and just chill. But like, yeah, it was like when you finally hit the spot where you're not moving anymore, you're like, okay, like this is bad.
Yeah.
This is like really bad.
It's like having moved for like
Having
30
moved.
minutes.
What is
Yeah.
going on up there?
Yeah.
And then that happened to me last Sunday. It was because a car flipped. And I was like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
shit. And then you're like, just like staring at that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's traumatizing. Driving
Totally.
in LA can be traumatizing.
I was just down there last summer, and I remember we went to like Santa Monica. We like went to the beach
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
day, and,
yeah.
and we were driving back, and it was like crazy traffic. But like same thing, like I literally saw like a car in midair, like completely flipped or whatever, and it's
like a common occurrence. And then when you live in LA, you kind of just like get desensitized or something like to it, and you're just like, yeah, that's normal.
That's crazy. Yeah,
This is
I
just
like
normal
never
now.
even seen that before.
A car's on fire?
Yeah.
That's just normal. I've seen that 3 times on the freeway.
Oh my gosh.
Like cars just get overheated and they blow up.
That's
Especially
so
the old
crazy.
ones, you know. Especially an old one. Like,
Totally.
And then like, you know, you can always get shows in LA.
Yeah.
You know. It's kind of more booked around a tour, I guess, for you. You couldn't just do like a one-off, but like you could always do that. You know?
Yeah. And like Portland, I mean, I've done that drive like so many times. It's really not like you can drive from Portland to LA in one day if you want. I mean, it's a long day, but like you can do it. It's really not that far if you like need to get down there for something, you know? So, but yeah, I like visiting LA a lot, but I don't know if I could live there either.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
It's fun though.
Yeah.
It's a fun time. What are some of the goals? Let's talk goals. What are you trying to do with music?
Good question. I mean, I'd like to be like more of a touring artist, you know, and I'm definitely working towards that. It's like, I guess, you know, I've done like the DIY tours and stuff, and like those are really fun, but it's like I'd like to
get an agent.
Yeah, like I'd like to get an agent, get a manager, maybe sign a deal if
with the record deal.
Yeah, maybe get to that point if it makes sense and if it's a good deal and stuff. I actually turned down a deal once, but
really?
Just because like the contract was
weird,
like kind of whack. Yeah, I was like, they want.
What'd you see in it this is good for people to hear? What'd you see in it that you're like, oh, I don't like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, I don't. Maybe I probably shouldn't mention the name.
Don't mention the label name, but just like the thing of someone else is like, because I always tell people this, man, like read the contract.
Yeah,
you
totally.
can guess it, and if you don't know what a word means, Google it.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of that little lawyer wordage.
Yeah,
what
and
the fuck
actually,
does that mean?
I hired a lawyer to read it.
That's also good.
It was like $100.
Oh, really?
To have
Just
him read
100?
it. Yeah, it wasn't that bad, and
there
it was
go.
totally worth it.
That's totally worth it.
But yeah, and so like the biggest thing was
he a music lawyer?
He was, yeah.
Okay,
He was
so you looked up a specific entertainment lawyer?
Yeah, and they were in Portland, and like I had friends that like knew him personally, so that helped as well.
Good to know. Good tips. I love these tips.
Totally.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had him read it, and he basically got back to me and was like, I would not urge you to sign this because like they wanted a 50-50 split, which is pretty standard, I think, but like they wanted that for 25 years. Ooh. And like
that's long.
He was like it's the lawyer said like it's pretty standard for like maybe 5 or 7 or something. Like he was like I would try and negotiate if you can get them down to that, then maybe that'd be more reasonable. But I like I went back and tried to negotiate that, and they just like didn't want to do it. Not at all. Like they're like, we've never done anything for less than 25.
That's crazy.
And that just seems like a really long time to be taking half of the
How old are you
earnings.
right now?
I'm 27.
Yeah, man.
So
I'd
be
50s?
Yeah, I'd be in my early 50s, you know, like.
Was it a licensing or like was it like a license or like they'd own the masters as well?
I don't think they would own the masters.
Oh, it was more of like a license contract.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole nother layer as well, but
if they own the master, then they got to fork over some money.
Yeah,
that's like what I've been told now. It's like if they want the masters, they need to pay you.
Yeah,
you know? Okay, all right.
Yeah, totally.
So most of my deals so far have been licenses.
Yeah,
and it was for 5 to 7 years.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And now, I guess I shouldn't say this because I am negotiating right now. But now they want 10 years.
Oh, really?
They moved their thing to 10, and I feel weird about that.
Yeah. Because it's like once you open that door, it's like, are they just going to keep asking for more, you know?
Yeah. So
who
knows?
Yeah. It's a whole, I mean, it's funny. I was just at like right next door, they were having like a music business
that's a good
panel
one.
thing.
Did you go?
I did, yeah. And they were talking about this exact thing that we're talking about right now.
Should have went to that.
Yeah. But it's like the business side of everything it can get kind of complicated, but it's good to know for sure.
It's super good to know.
So I'm glad I didn't sign that
contract,
man. Because the other thing too is like there's no guarantee that like just because you sign a contract it's gonna like do amazing things for your career or whatever.
Totally.
You still gotta put in the work.
That's really long. That's 25 years is really, really long.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Man. All right. Well, so then
Yeah.
you maintain your rights and your license and
Yeah.
writing at the record, I guess.
yeah, that's kind of my plan right now is to just like I have the 2 albums that I self-released, and I've been writing and recording a lot on my own, and I'm just kind of just releasing singles, and maybe eventually that will become an album or something.
Yeah.
And and I'm just playing shows and trying to like play out of Portland more, and just
Where
seeing-
would you go? What would you like? I feel like it's so few far in between. I guess you play a show in Eugene, go up to Seattle, maybe
Yeah.
do Vancouver. Like, what would the like typical little Northeast route be?
like Seattle and Bellingham and
Oh, yeah, I played
Olympia.
Bellingham.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Olympia, yeah.
Yeah. I think, Olympia, I feel like is like there's more of like a punk scene there, which I don't make punk
Right.
rock or whatever, but like maybe it could still work. I don't know. But
Like house shows or
yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. 'Cause it's a college town and stuff.
Right.
But I think like Seattle and Bellingham and even like Spokane, I think is pretty, a good
had some
place to
rough-
play. I've never played there, but
I've had some rough shows.
Oh, really?
Shout out to Spokane. Shout out to the Lucky You Lounge that keeps booking us.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had like 5 people at the first show, and then we had 7 the next show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
At least you didn't go down in
That's what she
numbers.
said. She was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you got some more people."
Yeah. Was it the same 5 as the?
It was like 2 people came. They're like, "Hey, I came from the last show." I was
Oh,
like, "Oh,
nice.
you remembered?"
Yeah.
Yeah, so cool. You guys are so good. Blah, blah, blah. I was
That's
like, okay,
awesome.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta love the like I'd rather play to a room with less people that are engaged than
Yeah,
like
and
a
then they
big
came
room.
back and
Yeah,
I guess that's what they always say. It's like, you just got to hit these markets a bunch.
Yeah.
They bring a friend and then they bring another friend.
Totally.
And it kind of builds on top of that. But sometimes you don't want to believe it until you actually go back to a Spokane.
yeah,
And there are people who came back. And
Yeah.
like, okay, maybe we did do something the last time.
yeah,
They're like, that was a weird show for me. But you
Yeah.
know what? We came back and people came back,
Yeah.
That's always my line. People are like, oh, come back to Spokane, come back to Missoula. I'm like, shit, if you come back, I come back.
Yeah.
Like, that's always
You
my
played
line.
Missoula too.
We did play Missoula.
How was that?
It was cool.
Yeah,
Those Montana shows are great, actually.
really.
Like, there's not a whole lot to do, so people go out to the shows.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
That's
like
cool.
we don't know who you are. We just came because there's live music.
Yeah.
And that's what we got going
Like,
on.
oh, this
here.
band from Southern California's in town. Like, let's go check
Or
this
from
out.
anywhere,
Yeah, or anywhere. Yeah. Yeah.
They're just excited that
awesome.
someone decided to come to Butte.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we also played Butte.
Cool.
And it was a great show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
Eugene was a funny place for me too, because like we played there in July,
Uh-huh.
and it was like obviously school wasn't in session, but when we played there was also like the world like track event
Oh.
going on, like with the Olympic trials or
Yeah.
whatever, and so I thought like, oh, there's gonna be like thousands of people in Eugene,
Roaming
like
around. Someone should.
if we play at this bar, like there's bound to be people there,
Yeah.
and there was like my parents came down, and it was just like my parents and like 2 other people pretty much.
We
I don't know, I was a bit naive thinking, I guess, but
I have a similar story like that. We played this bar in Oakland, and Childish Gambino was playing across the street.
No way.
At the Fox Theater. He cancels his show.
oh wow.
So he doesn't play. People are leaving, and this guy walks up to me. He walks up to me. I'm talking to the sound guy. He's like, "Yo, man, what's the capacity in this place?" He's like, "I don't know why." He's like, "Childish Gambino just canceled his show. Like, this place is gonna fill up." He's like, "Man, this shit hasn't sold out since Green Day in '93."
Oh, man.
It was a really weird. Like, I was like in the middle of it.
Yeah.
I was like, "Shit, maybe people are gonna come," and no one came.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
They'd rather just go home.
Yeah.
than stop
You s-
at this bar.
Did you still play the
We
show?
we still
Yeah.
played.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was actually not an awful turnout, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like everyone from Childish Gambino's crowd was like, now let's go see some rock bands
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
across the street at
Yeah.
this dirty bar. Like, yeah.
That's funny.
But we thought that was gonna happen there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which place was that?
I don't remember the name.
Yeah.
But the Fox Theater was across the street from it. I don't know if that place is even around anymore.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You play enough shows, you're like, oh yeah, is that bar even a
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
We were just talking about the Ash Street Saloon in Portland.
Oh yeah.
that was the first place Dante ever played in Portland.
Okay.
Gone, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ash Street. Yeah. I don't think that's there. Yeah.
Sad.
Crazy. Yeah. Yeah. It's weird. I was gonna ask in Oakland, have you played at the Starline Social Club or whatever?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that place is cool.
I had a good show there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
That
played
was
there
fun.
last summer. It was.
Oh, really?
It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool place. That was like one of my first times playing Oakland. I was like, oh, nice. I've always heard such bad things about Oakland.
Yeah.
And then like you like open the door and there's just glass all over the floor from the
Yeah.
previous vehicle that was broken into,
Yeah.
and you're like, shit, dude. But
Yeah.
that's when you learn, take all your stuff out of the car.
Totally.
Take your backpack, everything.
It's funny, like the guy who booked that show for us was like helping us load in, and he was like, make sure you get everything out
Yeah,
of the car.
everything.
And I was in like a Subaru, and I had like a half case of like Coors or something in the back, and I was like, do you think it's fine to leave that? And he's like, oh no, like
Hell no.
that's
That's
like
what
the
they're looking
worst
for.
thing
Yeah,
to
yeah.
leave. And I was like, oh shit.
My drummer in San Francisco had my old drummer, he got his car broken into.
Yeah.
They didn't take any of his drums. They took a pair of shoes and his aux cord
Yeah.
and his like iPhone charger.
Yeah,
It's like that's the kind of stuff they're looking for.
Well, it's funny
Things
'cause
you
you,
could
like-
easily flip.
yeah. When
Can't
you
flip
think
a drum
like,
set.
yeah,
The fuck?
you think like, oh, this is more valuable, like it's worth
Right.
more money, but like,
I'm not carrying all that.
Yeah,
kit. I'm
you're
not
like, what
carrying
are they
that
gonna
kit.
do with all
I'll
that,
take those
you know?
shoes. I can flip the shoes. I can flip the
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it.
Totally,
But his
yeah.
whole kit was not touched.
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy. Also, I had like one of the best burritos of my life, like right by that
In San
venue.
Francisco-
or in Oakland. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Mexican food there is so good.
They do. The Bay
Yeah.
Area, it's like a whole thing. NorCal, Mexican
Yeah.
food versus SoCal.
What's your thought on that debate?
No, Southern California is way better.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
but they do have good Mexican food.
Yeah,
in
totally.
the Bay Area. I like to talk shit, but they do. They actually do, but it's not as good as
Yeah.
San Diego or LA or
Yeah.
even Santa Barbara has some good Mexican food too.
What's your like go-to taco spot in LA, or like I guess maybe all of?
I don't know. I don't really go a lot of taco places in LA. No, in Santa Barbara, there's a place called Lily's that people really love.
Okay.
Since I stopped eating meat, I really don't go.
Oh, that's right.
It's
I
like-
knew that you didn't eat. Yeah, that's
you
right.
eat a veggie taco
Yeah.
with mushroom and shit. Like you can get that. They all kind of taste the same.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's like,
I see. That makes sense.
But Lily's, I remember Lily's being really good. There's Super Rica. That was like Julia Childs' favorite
Oh, wow.
restaurant.
Cool.
And she lived in Santa Barbara, and that place has like been goated ever since. It's like it's had like the seal of approval because
Yeah.
Julia Child says it's good. There's a place called Rascals. I talk about this as a vegan restaurant in Santa Barbara called Rascals. That's really, really good. And he
Cool.
does like actual food you want to eat. Because we have another vegan
Yeah.
place in Santa Barbara. I shouldn't talk too much shit. But like we have another vegan place in Santa Barbara that's just like, here's a couple sprigs of leaves.
Yeah.
Are you full yet? Okay,
yeah.
then here's some other nuts.
Yeah.
You full yet? That happens
Totally.
a lot. But this place actually makes burgers and food you actually want to enjoy.
Yeah. And those are, I mean, like the vegan burger game is strong
It's
these
changed,
days.
man.
Yeah. My dad's
Yeah,
vegan. So
nice.
we'll eat at and also Portland has like a ton of
Yeah.
vegan options for restaurants. So like if I go out to dinner with my parents, like we'll go to a vegan spot
That's
a lot
awesome.
of times, and it's good.
It's
like
delicious.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
not the
vegan,
same
but
it
it's-
was.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I first started touring, it was really hard.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's why I liked Portland, because it had like more vegetarian restaurants and
Yeah.
all those food trucks and stuff. It was just like, oh, there's
Yeah.
options.
Totally.
Versus everywhere else. I kind of feel that way here. We haven't really had a lot of great food in Boise yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's just like, you want a steak? Like,
Yeah.
it's a steak and potatoes kind of place though. So
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
I shouldn't say it's on the city, it's the culture, it's
Yeah.
a steak and potatoes.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I had like a brisket sandwich yesterday and it was really good, but yeah, I haven't seen too many like vegan places, but I haven't really been looking for
Have you
it
been
either.
eating the potatoes?
I don't think I've eaten a single potato
Oh,
since
shit,
I've been
man.
here.
Dude, it hits different.
Really?
They're
It's
so
actually
good.
like noticeably different.
Go to Goldie's. That's my favorite place. We still haven't
Okay.
gone there yet, but Goldie's is like, I think around the corner right there.
Okay.
And the best roasted
What
potatoes.
is that like a bar or a
No,
restaurant?
it's there's two. There's like a coffee shop, and then around the corner is it's like brunch.
Oh,
breakfast,
okay. Cool.
Pancakes, all that thing. But
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here for like 3 more days. So
yeah, that's my favorite place in the
Cool.
city. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
It's generations and generations of potato growers and
Oh, man.
people who know how to cook potatoes properly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
people enjoying it.
Gotta love the potato passion.
The spuds. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Where are we at? We're 49 minutes. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
I I don't know.
There's a new record. You're working on tours. You're booking these tours yourself right now.
Yeah.
Any tips on booking your own tour?
I guess.
What have you learned so far by booking your
Yeah,
own
that's
tours?
a good question. I mean, I guess like if you have friends in like certain cities you want to go to play at, that's a good place to start. You know, like if you know you could at least bring like like your friends out if they live in, like we had some friends that live in Oakland and I think, I don't know, like if you look at like your Spotify for artists thing, like maybe look at the cities where you have the most listeners is a good place to start too. I don't know, but it's like I guess just like the whole email game is like a whole thing you have to learn too. Like just being good at sending emails.
Do you have an email list?
I do.
Really?
I don't really do like a ton of like email marketing or anything like that. But do you do something like that? Yeah.
I've been thinking about it.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it a lot more now.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I want like people. I feel like a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on email marketing, but I don't know if it's like, does it really work that well? I don't know.
It works for the companies I work at.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you have a show or something, you can email blast a show.
Yeah.
It might reach some people.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah, if you've got like.
You just can't abuse it.
Yeah, totally.
Some bands abuse it.
Yeah,
And
you don't want
I'm
to.
like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because I am subscribed to like a couple bands' email lists, and then they're just like posting all the time. I'm like, all right,
It's like
I'm out.
One
dude.
every 3 days or something.
New music. Oh, yeah, we
Yeah.
just did this. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it's
good.
kind of the same logic as like playing too many shows close together, like in your same market or whatever.
That's
you know?
that's a big rule that a lot of people. I'm experiencing that. I'm recording a live album in Santa Barbara, and some of the
nice.
openers I have playing those shows are playing shows like the week before and the week after.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you can't fucking do that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad because I also did shit like that.
Yeah.
But like, you will piss off like promoters and
Yeah.
other people.
Totally.
I'm cool with it because I don't care. I think the shows will do well regardless. But yeah, you will. And I feel like I am going to tell them when I see them, like, don't do that.
Yeah, yeah,
You should not.
totally.
You should consider not doing it. Santa Barbara's so small too. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you normally play in Santa Barbara?
There's a venue called Soho.
Okay, yeah, I
and
remember
that's kinda
seeing
it.
that one. Yeah. Well, there's another place called like the 7 Bar.
7 Bar's closed.
Oh, it is?
It's gone.
Oh, man.
They lost their lease, and now it's going to be a sushi place.
Oh, wow.
And it's not because they weren't paying rent or anything. It's just somebody came in and offered more money.
Oh, man, that's
like
a
the
bummer.
worst.
Was that place cool? I've never been there. I
was
just heard
cool.
about it. Yeah.
I worked there. That was like my first social media client. That's
Oh,
how I got
really?
into the whole social media game.
Oh,
It's
wow.
like they needed someone to run their stuff, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm down.
Wow. Dang, that's a bummer.
It's a bummer, man, because
Yeah.
when you see a business go down, you're like, oh, well, people weren't going. But it's like, it's different when you see a place that was actually doing well. They just
Yeah.
got outbid by when their lease was up.
Yeah. Dang.
People with more money come in.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, when I was booking the last tour, I tried to get in contact with them and I never heard back. That's probably why.
Probably a big reason why they're
Yeah.
kind of shutting down
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
It's
Don't they have like a piano in the bathroom?
Yeah,
there or
I wouldn't
something?
touch that thing.
Yeah, that's kind of gross, but cool though.
No, that was a cool bar, man. There was a cool scene for a little while too, but then yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Where else can you play? There's a place called Wildworks.
Okay.
It's a mead bar. We go
Okay.
there a lot just because they book a lot of friends.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess it's 21. I guess it's 21 and up, but people just like hang out on the sidewalk
Oh, really?
because it's on the main drag and it's
Yeah.
not like a big place, and so people kind of just spill out into the street. So lots of people can see you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really spent that much time in Santa Barbara, but it seems like a really cool place.
Yeah, it's nice.
You live in Santa Barbara
Yeah.
now? Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
We live pretty close. We just walk to like Wildworks and stuff. We live pretty close to downtown.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. Yeah. What's like, if you wanted to go into LA, what's the drive? Like how long would that
Hour
be?
and a half.
Oh, that's not too
Yeah.
bad.
With traffic, it ends up being like 2 hours.
Okay.
They'll tack on like, it depends how deep you're going. I just got a podcast studio out in Sierra Madre, which is past like Pasadena, and that takes me like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like driving from Portland to Eugene or something.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just a chaotic like 6-lane highway, but other than
Yeah,
that-
yeah. With cars and
Yeah, Santa Barbara has like
explosions everywhere.
three lanes, and then it turns into 2 lanes, and they're like oh,
Yeah,
shit. Yeah, it gets a little weird.
Totally.
All right, cool. Let's wrap
Cool.
this up, man.
Yeah.
You already promoted everything up top, but yeah, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Have a good set. We'll,
Yeah, I'm
we'll be
excited.
there.
Cool.
So,
Okay. Cool.
We'll get some footage.
I'm excited. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my first time in well, I've driven through Boise, but I haven't spent
this
that
is
much
your first
time here.
time
so
in Boise?
First time playing here, yeah.
Wow.
And really spending time here at all, so it's pretty exciting.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, and Treefort is like, I'm amazed how like, I mean, I knew that there was going to be more than just music, but there's like so much more than just, it's so much more than just a music festival, you know, it's pretty cool.
Everyone says this is like what South by used to be.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it. Because
Yeah.
I did South by and it wasn't very fun.
Really? Why is that?
It's just like, I don't know. It just sucks. There's a
Really?
lot of people. Yeah, it's chaotic, but it just wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
Is it just like oversaturated or
Yeah.
something? Yeah.
And like, you think like, oh, we can get noticed. Like there's labels and managers there, but they all know who they're going to go see.
Yeah.
They
They're not,
already
like,
have their
popping
list of
into
bands.
random.
Yeah, they're not going to randomly discover you there.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what they kind of like promote it as, like, oh, it's so much industry.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of industry. Everyone's there, but they already have their list. you
Yeah.
know, and like the blogs already have their list of who they're going to go see and what they're going to write their review about. But here, maybe there's less industry here, but more fans.
Yeah.
More like people who care about music, and you can come back and do this market again and they'll see you.
Totally.
You know, first time I did Treefort, we got a free haircut.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
saw that they were offering that. That's
the
cool.
haircuts are cool, and then you come back and somebody else offers you a haircut.
Yeah.
Oh, we saw you at Treefort last year. Come by my shop and stuff like that. It's just
Yeah.
like such a great community here.
I just got a haircut like a week before this, and then like the day after I got a haircut, I saw that they were giving barbers.
There you
I was like,
go.
oh man, I wish I would have waited.
Man, I love that. I love that artist lounge too with the rotating food.
Yeah, I haven't been in there yet.
Oh,
actually.
you gotta go.
Yeah, I got the wristband for
Yeah,
it,
man. Go do it.
but I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, cool.
Cool. Let's wrap up.
Yeah,
Thanks, man. Thanks for being on.
yeah. Thank you. Thanks for having me.